Ping them. We're on.
We on instantly.
We are on right now.
We need some intro music. That's why I sent you some beats.
I don't actually remember how to put those on there, so I have to ask Jay about that. I'm kind of new to the OBS.
Heard. I feel like if you play it off the computer, it can be heard, just like your sound effects.
Yeah. I think so too. Settings.
Nothing crazy, just some background noise, like some low-fi vibes, sounds to just cover up the empty space type deal.
Why are we unstable? I don't understand. But anyway, get a few people in here first. Yeah, Kyler, you can ask questions in the GM chat. Um, we'll go along here. One thing I have to do I have? Yes, I do. Okay. So, let's see who's all in here. 3 viewers right now. So, but anyway, I think we'll just probably start fairly quickly here. But if you are here, just say you're here in GM chat, and then I'll keep below. So I'm pretty sure, Grizz, that you are the one who's doing all of Tampa's contracts, right?
For the most part, um, yeah, I submit him. He oversees and he lets me know what we're doing and where we're going, where we're spending our money, and I kind of coordinate them. So,
Okay. All right. So a little bit of a background here. So whenever this was coming down, the actual setup did not make sense. And I'll tell you why. So they had a salary cap of 147.5 million, which is an odd number and it doesn't make it very easy. And then they said your next contract would be 40 million, but they didn't have an actual salary tier. So everyone, no matter what, got 40 million the next contract, which I felt was a little weird. And so the idea that I came up with was a mixture of NBA, NHL, and a uh, slight touch of NFL. But it's not a lot in the NFL. But we'll start off with the basics here. So obviously the basics are rookie contracts. You get a standard $12 million deal. Sorry, it's a little bit to get to it. So 12 million, and then the standard rookie deal is for a first round pick is 15 million.
right, I was
And
about to say 15 first year, 12 second round, first
yeah,
round 15.
and then UDFA is a max contract of 10 million on the contract. So those are the three standards, but we're adding to the UBA two-way player can get a max standard contract of 5 million. And then the max for a minor league player is 3 million. So these are the big numbers. Now what I want you to focus on here is here.
I got
So
an early question. I got
yeah,
an early question for you.
yeah,
So, say I draft a guy in the second round and I want to make him a two-way. Is that possible?
it is possible. But you would have to have the player agree on it. on a rookie scale, they would have to agree on it. Now, if they're inactive, the GM just gets to choose where he wants to put them. I mean, they have to agree on the contract. It's their rights. If the player is an active player, then it's a little different because they would have to negotiate. But yes, I would say if the player, and I don't know if you wanted to add this rule, if their player is under level 30, you have the opportunity, activity level. You have the opportunity to just give them a two-way or a minor league contract. But
And
that's
what was the number on the minor league two way? The max?
the max on the four. Here, actually, can you? While I'm doing this, I'm just gonna share my window, share my entire screen. All
Oh,
right.
go.
Okay. So the max, the max on a minor league contract is 3 million. The max on a two-way player is 5 million.
Uh,
No, you
okay.
cannot. You cannot steal any other player, any other team's players, like in general.
No. You can trade for them.
You can trade for them. Yeah, we're not doing the like the NFL practice squad type of thing. Wow. But with all of that being said, what I want you guys to more focus on than anything is these right here. The rule of thumb to go by is salary cap percentages, not the dollar amount. The reason why is it's more simple to deal with numbers. So like I'll put this away actually. We'll just cut it all out. Put 0. Why is that showing up?
Ooh, excuse me.
And then there. Okay. So let's say for Molly, for instance, let's do a contract extension for Molly. So most of you already know he is on an expiring deal. So he'd be a point guard. I think he's what, 6'7". Got Molly in here. Um, Starting year would be season 4 because he had his team option picked up. So what's the previous team? That would be Las Vegas. And then the team that he's signing for, actually, since he got, yeah, since he, you know what happened, um, he'll end up here. So this would be how you set this up, and the contract type would be an extension, right? Well, now you look over here. So for Molly's case, I believe he is in the 200K, but he's pushing 300K, so you might want to do it early. So this is the standard amount that you would sign him for, 30 million to 39.9. So we'll put 30. Uh, we'll put, why not 39? All right, that's 26% of the cap. Right. So that's over a fourth of your cap. So you're understanding if he asks for this much, um, it's gonna it's very difficult to kind of keep everyone aligned. So for his case, it's kind of difficult, but you could potentially do this for 5 years. We'll just put, we can put 5 years if you want, and then oops, that's 390 million. That's no bueno. All right, so in this contract, obviously you could do one of these. Now he's probably going to ask for a player option here. It would be like, if you, let's say you ask for a 2. So term would be a 3+2, not just 5 years total, because you're adding in the player option of that. We'll get to that part. And then you can do the no movement clause, the modified no trade clause, and the trade clause. Now, here's the kicker. The in
Mm-hmm.
MC, the no movement clause. No movement clause stands for you can't move them at all, meaning you can't waive them into the minors. You can't put them on a two-way contract, and you can't like do anything other than cut them unless they tell you it's okay. So that's what the no movement clause is. The full no trade clause, obviously, you would have to make them waive a contract. Now, this would be a modified no trade clause, so you would have them, let's say, a 10-team no trade list. So they would every season they would have to send in to admin 10 teams that they don't want to go to, and the only teams that they can go to is the other 5 teams. And why I'm mentioning these as good tools is because this makes it cheaper um, as a contract. These are supposed to be tools to help cheapen deals as a negotiation tactic. Um, Same with performance bonuses and signing bonuses. But rule of thumb is looking at salary cap. I wouldn't look as much on luxury tax cap unless you're like a team like Denver who's really thinking about going into this. But this is what you want to work on, and this is why trading for players who are going to get really big contracts is kind of risky because you
Quick
don't.
question.
Yeah.
How did you figure out where he is as far as standing, his tier?
So
Is
he
it
was.
based upon is based upon overall UC game, right?
It's overall UC game. So I'll
Okay.
pull up Vegas since he's still on Vegas. Why did I pull up that? I said Vegas.
No, I was just asking to make sure
Yeah.
that's where it's coming from. You ain't
Well,
got to
I
go
know.
search it up and
I'm showing the GM so they understand where it's at. So here
okay, bet.
it is this number and this number combined. Now, to be fair, I know this says it's only 148, but it's not season 1 mixed with season 2 right now. It is just
Yeah,
specifically
we got to get that games up.
it's just one specific season so far. So he should be in tier. I really hate it. I would really like that. So what do you mean? Can you add them both?
No, we aren't we updating total earnings?
Yeah, we're
So
already doing that. We're already fixing that. We're just Coco's getting through it pretty soon. So it's gonna be total averages here soon. So he would be in this tier. Now, for a player like Molly, who we know just, I'm not gonna say the word because there might be other people watching this. Um, you might have the predicament that you're not going to be able to get one of these. So that's why, for instance, let's go to a different player. Let's go to a Qantas Mello. This is the best person to kind of compare. So I don't even know what his height is, so it doesn't matter. So if I go to Toronto, right, and do this, Toronto drafted him, and so next season after his deals expires, it would be season 4. I'll do it here in a second. So for him, it would be an extension, obviously, and then do whatever you would want here. But he's going to be in the rotation tier because he hasn't passed that 200K. So you can get him into the 29 million range or 20 million. Let's say he takes, 15, right? Or if you do so choose, you
Pay the
can put him
man.
you could put him on a this, right? And then he goes to the tier below, so now you can actually pay him this. You can pay him 2 million when he was supposed to previously
No.
get 15 million. But the player might not take that because that's, they're going to feel like they're undervalued. That's where the bonuses come in. You can pay them 15 million in performance bonuses and 10 million in signing bonuses. So,
Max 25 million in
yeah,
bonuses.
max 25. So if you put that together with the 2 million every season, that gets a total of 27 million, which puts him back into this tier just with bonuses. So
Well,
that
no. Well, yeah, no. That is 27 million per year. Damn.
so use these hometown discounts to your absolute advantage.
But also, you spending up your incentive money.
Yes, you are. So you have to. It's a guessing game because you get 250 million over 5 seasons. But are you gonna go over that? Because if I pull up that, uh,
Because people don't already spend 30 million in incentives in their first year.
yeah, so spending right here, you look if the funny thing is Detroit spent 103 million last season. So they have 147 million to spend over the next 4 years. That's like
Not good.
not good at all.
That's 10 million per player per bonus if you got 5 players.
And
That's
that's
like 50
that's
million.
you're gonna have to be sparing with that.
Yeah. But see, they
Whereas,
can, but then what Detroit can do on the other side is they can sign a slightly larger contract with lower
hmm
performance incentives to save
hmm
money.
yep,
So it's ways you can work the system, but you got to find that balance
yeah. So
and
Jordan,
giving realistic incentives
the reason
that
why it's
promote.
Jordan, the
Go ahead.
reason why it's only 4 million is because none of the players that were on performance bonuses hit them. It was 4 million in signing bonus. That was it. So, and that's the other thing. You could be giving these players like 103 million worth of performance bonuses, right?
Nobody
If
hitting.
if you do it correctly, like if I go over to specifically like someone Kyler, because I
I was gonna say
negotiated
go.
that. So if you go
Like,
to his extension, he has to hit 10. He has to hit 10 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 60 field goal percentage above to hit all of these. I doubt he hits eight rebounds per game. So that 3 million just comes back to you. It's not like you just give it to them. So, and then it's another 500 for All Pro, which I don't even think he hit that. He's gonna hit that either, maybe. But he's on a cheap contract. He was still below here, or he was into the 100K. I know that for sure. So he signed a pretty cheap deal, kind of team friendly. Got a little bit of contract bonuses. If he hits any of them, he'll get those. But this is like a picture perfect deal for both player and team. Because some players do want to take a cheaper contract. They want to help the team out, but you're gonna help them get incentives on the back end. But you don't want to make them too easy because then you're just giving that as guaranteed money. You just might as well call it signing bonus money. So,
Want to make them earn it a little bit.
hmm
I definitely promote activity level incentives, realistic ones.
hmm
30 is definitely realistic. I mean, yeah, you gonna have your nine yappers hit them with a 20, 25
Hmm.
to still promote
Yeah,
a little
because
activity in there.
like for instance, like Levation, and I know Denver wanted me to put that right. Minnesota
Hmm.
had his performance bonus as hitting a level 40 activity. For someone like Levation, he's never gonna touch that, so that's just a waste of performance bonus putting that in, and it doesn't give him anything. You're not putting a carrot in front of his face. You're putting a carrot in Japan when he's in LA. So um, no, your contract bonus did not affect this season except for on this contract. So whatever was in here, which was activity level of 30 for 9 million, that hits you, and the 5 million signing. So the 5 million went against Toronto, and then the 9 million went against Vegas because they traded for you. So it was end of season. It counts against their cap, not um, Toronto's. So
Yeah.
no, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to. You actually have the amount of years you can put onto it. All five, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It just depends on what you want to do.
So I think more so when we sign the initial contract, can we change the bonuses later,
Yes,
like
that is what we call
per
a.
year?
Yeah, so I don't think I have it on there, but that is what we call a restructure, which is here. Um, and then you can send in a new spreadsheet, which if you look on here, let's go bonus.
Go
So the
I was about to
bonus,
say go Tampa.
so bonus Dylan Skyler, it doesn't have any of these numbers. It's just a bonus sheet, and it's just 4 million signing bonus because you didn't have that on the year before.
So we would have to do contract restructures essentially, even on our rookie contracts. I could
Um,
change the bonuses. That's
yeah,
my
you could do
question.
it. You could do a bonus restructure. Um,
Okay.
Rookie like contract restructures, that's a whole different ball game. And
Right. No,
I'll
we're just talking specifically bonuses in
yeah,
this moment.
yeah. So I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, as far as contracts, so like extensions, you see how Chicago signed him to 8 million more than he originally signed for. So NBA would not be able to do that. Which one am I looking at? Here it is. So the rules here would be that's the salary cap percentages that they can sign, but players cannot make. It's like a 5% increase is the max, and then 8% increase is what they call a super max. But you can only make that, and then it's based on service time. I did not do any of this because I did not want to make it more complicated than it needed to be for you guys. I made it a lot simpler than this, and this is why I really didn't take much as far as basketball contracts into consideration for this, because the only thing I really did, and I don't know if I'm going to do it for rookies, but rookies are on like um, a different set of contracts. It's all rated based on where they were drafted. I don't know if I'm going to do that in the future or not because it would be kind of complicated, but it would make first pick be a little bit more expensive, so players would teams are going to be having some issues with like trading. If you're trading higher, you just gotta realize you're going to be a little bit higher in the cap for that player rather than before. So you just got to be worry about that. But this is what the NBA salary cap is. That's the floor, and this is the salary cap. So it's 100, basically 155. We're at 150. Um, and then the luxury tax for them is 187, almost 190, and I did 200 because I didn't feel like going to the second apron. I just put these aprons together with the luxury and then called it good. Because again, I don't feel like putting a lot of effort in for you guys. I don't need to put in a floor yet because we don't have enough players and they're all on rookie deals. So whenever people start signing contracts, then I'll think about it, but I don't have to right now. So as far as actual contracts are concerned, though, we are on a AAV basis, which is this. So no matter what, so like I would have to pull up Money's contract. Where did Money go? There he is. So okay. So his contract is 20.7 million total over 2 years. First year makes a little more than the second year. That's okay, but that number is going to be divided up into two and do an average annual value. So it would be divided by 2. So this would be the number, which is 1,035,000 or 10,035 300 yeah, 10,350,000 as a total. So that's what that would be. Now, personally, if you guys want to just keep it simple, I would just do the same number twice. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, they'll get paid a little bit more this season, a little bit less that season, but it does nothing for you as far as cap is concerned. So, and then he's got a team option for the second year. It's a 1+1, so it's all pretty good, pretty standard. And he made it slightly easy for him, so he'll probably get to 2 million. He'll probably get that too, so he'll get 8. This makes it slightly difficult, but I mean he could hit that, so that's 6 million. 18 games played. Now the games played, I don't know if it depends on if we're doing injuries, but I mean this is just guaranteed right now unless we do injuries. But and then the signing bonus is 2 million. So in this instance, um, he's 7% of the salary cap, so he's keeping himself pretty low compared to the rest of the league. And if I remember right, if I look at his details, he's got $109 million to spend, so it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty easy for him. So, but any questions so far from that?
I think this was a great display. I think they understand it more so after the breakdown and seeing it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna go into some of the other things here, and this is partly your help. You helped with this setup. Um, we went back and forth on it. Um, so if you're offer sheeting, so rookie contracts are restricted free agents. So if you look at, let's say, Dallas, right? Um, they just got Molly Thomas, right? This is a restricted free agent. Um, so restricted free agent here is needs a qualifying offer. And if I go over here, you go in here, right? RFA contract length requirement. Any team submitting offer sheet must require at least 2 years guaranteed in length. Offer sheets do not meet the requirement, automatically invalidated. And then free agent classification, obviously you see the RFA versus UFA. We're changing this. This is being modified. RFA is going to be the year after your rookie contract. That's it. And then you become a UFA. So probably the longer you sign these contracts, the better, because it keeps it cheaper when you're an RFA. and I'll get
What
to.
question?
Hmm?
So can rookies have to wait until this period to re-sign with their current team? They can't re-sign a contract during the team and do an extension upon their
Nope.
rookie contract.
No, they can. They can do an extension.
Are
Um,
we allowing that? Because
yes,
usually you have.
you can sign an extension within the last season. It doesn't matter. Like you have from now until extension deadline, which is like I don't even remember when we're gonna do it, but it's like a week after the trade deadline that you have, and then after that you have to wait until after playoffs, which is the extension period, which we'll get to, which is where it's like a 10-day where you get to negotiate those contracts, and that's with completely expiring as well. So, and then obviously in order to get RFA, you have to submit a qualifying offer. Otherwise, if you don't submit the qualifying offer in time, they will automatically become unrestricted free agents.
Unrestricted, right?
And I'll get to why you don't want them to become an unrestricted free agent most of the time.
I mean,
Um,
I would hope GMs know
um,
you want that restriction.
RFA and so accept the qualifying offer and play an upcoming season under one contract, becoming a free agent the following season. Accept a maximum qualifying offer, entering into a long-term deal at the tier defined in Section 7.5, which is uh, 7.75.5 is literally just this. So negotiate new contracts with their original team, independent of qualifying offer, and make a maximum qualifying offer. So and then negotiate sign and trade and that stuff. RFA offer sheets. So if you are offering a RFA that has been given a qualifying offer, this is the compensation. So if you're grabbing, um, so like let's say, again, we'll go back to the Molly situation. Molly is definitely going to be within this right here. You're looking at giving up a first round pick, your own first round pick. You cannot do someone else's. It has to be your own first round pick to get him back, to get him in to sign. Now, whenever you put this qualifying offer in, it has to go to us, and then the team has 48 hours to give a decision, which is either um, not match, which would mean they take the compensation pick, or match, because they can match your offer and just keep his rights.
But this
So
is only if they don't reach a contract extension during the season.
exactly, or at the end
Okay,
of the season in the extension period.
right. Okay.
So again, this is the
I
this
remember we argued about this.
contract here. Um, yeah, and the only reason I kind of did was I was trying to keep the numbers like straight even, like even tens, but it didn't matter. But rookie
Yeah.
max contract deadline: rookie scale players must sign any rookie maximum contract extension before the start of their fourth season. Failure to do so results in the player entering free agency under standard RFA or UFA rules. So, cap salary structure, as you can see, regular salary cap 150, luxury is 200 million. If a team exceeds the luxury tax cap for 3 consecutive seasons or 3 out of 4 seasons, their first round pick is moved to the final of the first. Um, if a team exceeds the luxury tax itself, not just the regular cap, they forfeit their first round pick entirely, and the GM will be fined a UC. Adding to this, if you were to try and make a trade, um, let's say you want to grab, um, well, actually, we'll just do it this way. Let's say you want to grab Quincy Washington, right? He's a $12 million player. Let's say New York wants to get him, right? New York cannot offer Joaquin for him because he's a $10 million contract. It has to be, they have to be either um, uh, gaining less money or even. So basically, since you're sending this player out, you cannot gain that 2 million. It has to be even. So you would have to give up Angel Torres 12 million to make it equal, or you would have to give up Levations 15 million in order to get you down. So you can no longer trade uneven contracts. You can't trade for more contract salary than you're giving up. So that's the other rule that's going to be in place with the luxury tax. So just be mindful um, of that. And then going back over here, um, each contract tier corresponds with a specific performance benchmark, including statistics award and UC accumulation. But I don't know if we're going to keep this. We're going to talk about this in the off season, so just be prepared for that. Players may move upward into a higher tier as they meet benchmarks, but they may not be signed below the highest tier that they have qualified for, unless, again, like I said, you have the hometown discount. Any questions regarding that?
No, I ain't got none. I've been locked in. It makes sense. So
So if J accumulates enough UC to qualify for All Pro tier, cannot
the other
be
teams
signed to
offer
a
them have
starter
to match.
tier. Yeah, so that's the example. Incentive pool bonus restructuring. So you have 250 million. We'll get to the restructuring, but it's averaging about 5 million per player in a season. So, um, but obviously with the no trade clauses, modified no trade clauses, player list restricted, the player option, team option, mutual option. So all of those. Extension deadline. Uh, 1 week. Oh, so it's 1 week before. I couldn't remember that. So I just messed that up. It's 1 week before, so just be prepared for that. Um,
I had a question. It
yeah.
was, can other teams offer and they have to match? I'm thinking what
So
he's asking.
the only time they are able to offer a offer sheet to a player is in the free agency period.
Oh, he said you answered it. Okay, I was
Um,
just making sure.
yeah. If restricted, they would just have to. You would only have to qualifying offer during the free agency period only. The re-signing
Right.
phase this season is 10 days. Um, we're doing it before the draft because it's just easier that way. A moratorium period, or as I said in the off season schedule, this is the legal tampering period, which is the 3 days following this. It's going to be following the draft. You are able to talk to players, but you can't like immediately sign them. And then open free agency begins immediately after that. So qualifying offers, this is where we get to the qualifying offers. So these are standard numbers, and I would like to thank this guy Grizz for helping me with this. So the franchise tier qualifying offer is 55 million. Obviously, this is probably never going to be touched because I don't think anyone's getting 400K before the rookie contract ends. All Pro would be 42 million. Starter tier is 30 million. Rotational tier is 18 million, and development tier is 7 million. So these qualifying offers are tendered to retain RFA rights, and they are one year contracts. So if they want to sign that, I guess the player could and just go to UFA the next season. Um, but you cannot. They are non-negotiable. Those are the tiers. If you want to qualify them in order to be able to retain the rights or be able to get the compensation, you have to hit them with one of these five numbers, depending on which tier they're in. Extension eligibility: contracts of 3 or 4 years may be extended after 2 seasons. I think we're changing this again. Contract tiers of 5 years may be extended after 3 seasons, so that would be two. And then contract of 2 years or fewer are eligible for extension just in general. So, do you want to do it 2 years, or do you want to do it one?
what would make more sense for the league? Mobility. One.
Um, I mean, 2 years gives him more flexibility.
Okay.
1 year does not. So, but maximum
We can.
extension length is 5 years total, including we're getting rid of this. You can do more than that. So, you can just do 5 years. That's the max you can do. It doesn't matter how long the contract is. First round contracts include team options for the third year of the season contract. Um, team options allow, yeah, and then player options. So then UC based tier benchmarks. Obviously, we see these. So all of that is pretty good, right? Understandable.
What up?
Who's who's that? Can you can you leave for a little bit? We're in the middle of a
Yes.
stream. Sorry about that. We are in the commentary booth that Lance can get in because the admin VC is being used. So anyway, we'll get back to this. So restructuring and retention. This is going to be the interesting part for you guys. So this is after rookie contracts. You cannot do this on rookie contracts. You can restructure the contract up to 50%. So no, it's 2+1. It's 2 years plus one 1 year option. I think it's fair that second rounders get 2+1 because I mean UDFA's and two ways and minor league get 1+1 or a 2 year. That's the max. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick to it standard because the two-way contracts are max 2 years. Minor league contracts are max of 2 years, and then UDFA's are a max of 2 years. Uh, Grizz, can I hear you? Are you talking? Give me a second. Let's try that again. I think he left. You speaking?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, it was on my thing. So, but anyway, contract restructures is completely up to you guys. But you can restructure the contract up to 50% of it. So let's say you do, like for instance, let's say Jay has to get 40 million, right? And let's say you want to add a player like Grizzly Hub, right? Say one is that. And he's gonna be where are you at? Oh, there you go. After this contract, he's probably going to be in the 30 million tier. So when that happens, it's going to be hard for a team like New York to pay for him. We'll rename it Jay Wilson. And he's the center who's 7'4". So let's say you do that, right? 5 years. New York Empire, New York Empire. So let's say you want to do that, right? Well, this is the total number. That's the total number of the contract. This is the contract. You can restructure the contract to 50%. So you could get it down to 20 million. So that's how much is being retained, right? So it would just add to this. I don't know why it just adds. So you can cut it in half. But in order to do that, you would have to add a bunch of bonus money. So 25 million in bonuses, 15 in uh, contract, 15 million in performance bonuses, and 10 in signing bonuses, just to make up for this, because you have to give them something in order to get for them to get to this, and then that would help give you some salary relief on New York, right? So you could get him down to 20 million, but you can only do that 3 times. This is the term sheet. You can only get 3 players on restructured contracts. You gotta be very careful. And then let's talk about retained contracts. Retention. So let's say instead of you wanting to cut Jay's salary in half, let's say you want to cut Grizzly's contract in half. So if you're trading for Grizzly on a contract like this, let's say you want to have Tampa retain 7.5 million of this contract, and they can retain it on here, right? You make them take a little bit of cap relief here. You can do that. 50%, up to 50%. And if you do a 3-team trade, you can get it to 75%, because one team can take 50% and the other team can take another 50%, which would be 25, because 3-way. So you can get this contract down to 25% if you want, and that's going to do one of 2 things. It's going to help the rebuilding team, who's probably taking on some of this contract cap, get them some draft capital, and helps get more value out of a player if you're trading the player to another team, if you can get them cap relief so they can build this team.
I got a question.
Yeah.
And this is from Kyler. So, with negotiating second round rookie contracts, what will be the tier system and how would we enforce contracts, or if they don't sign, they don't play?
No.
So, say
So
we got a second rounder and we like, hey, I want to put you on a 2-way contract. And he like, I don't want to do
well,
that. I'm just being honest because that's a real thing that can happen. And Kyler brought that up. What kind of leverage do GMs have? Or they just got to sit the player?
well, I mean, here's the thing. So you set up the contract. If they don't sign it, um, we'll probably have like a what do you call it? A arbitration team goes in and figures out with both the team and GM. But or the player and the GM. But like I said, you can still do this 15 and 10 signing bonus and performance bonuses for a 5 million 2-way contract if they like. Look, you'll be able to play in both the NXT and the UBA, and I'll give you a little bit extra bonus money to help this work out. But what I don't want to see you guys do is like do what Detroit did and just spend 25 on every single player across the board and get down to 147, and by the end
just because
by
you
the end
can.
of yeah, by the end of season 3, you don't have any bonus money, so now you're just really screwed, right?
And you working off base contract money.
Yep. So I don't want to see you guys do that. That's the one thing.
And then that can hurt free agency because you can't offer a star any contract bonus money for signing to you. Like it's all types of ways you got to balance that.
I'm
But
I'm not gonna. I'll tell Angel here. I'm not gonna do the exclusive rights retain. We're just gonna have to either force them to sign the contract or arbitration them,
I don't mind the exclusive right retain.
where they just don't play.
Nah, they get a year. It's a year, and it's a forced 1-1, two-way contract at minimum. If neither party can agree,
Okay. Well, we'll get to doing that here in a little bit, and that's why we're still here talking. So
like, because nobody wants to do that, but it
yeah.
has to give G some leverage. Like, I don't want to give you this shitty ass contract, but if we can't come to agree to the contract I'm giving you, this is what happens.
Hmm.
Type deal.
And honestly, if they don't sign, we after one season, if they don't sign, come to an agreement, and it's the player's fault, we will have them sign a minor league contract of minimum, which would be $500,000. And then if it's the team that's not having any wanting to sign the player for whatever reason, it's got to be something that's really out there, then I guess we would just sign them to a normal contract of, you know, a 2+1 with 15 to 12 million. But I don't think any of these players would do that. If it is,
I don't think so.
it's gonna be interesting. But
I think, but just as a fail safe, I
yeah,
think we already have an answer to it. So that's good.
yeah. So, but anyway, the retaining. Does everyone kind of understand what retaining and restructuring is now?
I mean, I think they got it. Like you broke down these joints real well, and the visual helps. So
Yeah. So, but again, you know, they have signing bonuses and performance bonuses. This is where I got the NHL standard size from. Base salary is a little different, but it's all put together into the full contract's 100. I hate this. So that's a whole $112 million of this entire contract, all the money. It's divided up by the years, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 112 divided by 8 would be 14 million, and that's what the cap hit is, and that's what the annual average salary is, or annual average value, I guess, is what it would say. Um, so, and then obviously you have this here cap. Um, we have this and this, so it's a little different. But uh, as far as um, when it comes to right here to buyouts, let's say you're having issues with like a OJ Malone, right? And you don't want to keep him because he's being a mean person, I guess. I'll keep it kind of PG here, right? So you have to pay 1/3 of this contract for 2 times the amount of time. So if it's a buyout, so we'll go to a calculator here. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 10 million divided by 3 equals. So it'd just be 3,333,000 $333 times 2, or not times 2 for that, but the years would be times 2. So that would be on here. This would be 2 years. So you would put it in here, down here, on the buyout. The term would be 2 years and 3 point, you know, 3 whatever. to get that. So, and it would just be for the 2 seasons. So that's how that works. Now, the other case of a buyout where it's just a full-on buyout, um, for instance, like Pittsburgh has this guy right here. Well, that's a bad. Let's say him, 2 million. If since he's just like inactive and he doesn't respond, Pittsburgh could buy him out just for free. It would they just wipe their hands clean. Dallas has a few players themselves that are like that, I believe. Yeah, because like they could do that with Bo Cruz and Cole Collins. So they could buy both of these contracts out for just completely free without having any issues with it because they are completely inactive and they can prove it. So that's the only way you can get around buying out and not having to be put on this. So it's the only other real caveat. And then I did some upgrades, modified, so now the draft picks are up here so you can see them all. Um, this is the salary cap and luxury tax, and then this is the bonus. Guaranteed payout is so the guaranteed payout is signing bonus money, and then the bonus payout is performance and signing bonus together. And then I'm still working on getting the incentive cash because again, the incentive cash is right here. It's this number right here. So those are the numbers right now because that's what's been paid out. So and then so that's what will be available to all of the teams. So teams like Vegas, New York, and Detroit are really going to struggle to do anything with like maneuvering contract issues and stuff like that. Whereas like teams, obviously Los Angeles and Derby City are starting fresh, so they'll be fine. But like Chicago, Seattle, and Oakland, they've hardly spent any, so they'll have a lot of money to be playing with. So, but just be mindful, like in season 5, and it's the same for Los Angeles and Derby City, just to keep it all the same. It all resets and it just goes straight back to 250. You cannot stack. Like, repeat, you cannot stack. So season 5 is probably the only time that would be acceptable to make performance bonuses like super easy for anyone to pick up. Just being completely honest here for that. But other than that, um, yeah, I mean you could use it by season 4. Season 5 after season 5 is when it resets. So the end of season 5 would be when it gets switched back to 250. So for season 6. So like season 1 through or actually no, because it was started in season 2. So it'd be season 2 to season 7, 6, no 7. So it'd be season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can play it through 6, and yeah. So that would be when the reset happens. So that's pretty much it with the contract system. I mean, it's fairly easy and easy to use, and yeah, the only thing you have to worry about is these compensations being your own picks and the qualifying offers and that type of thing. But overall, it is a very, very simple structure. So, yeah. But anything else for that? Any tampering? Okay, so as far as tampering is concerned, there's legal tampering, which is the moratorium period. So that's when you can actually talk to players for free. Other than that, if you're trying to talk to a player that's on another team, um, let's say you're doing it for a trade specifically, you have to get proven um, permission from the owning team. So, like, uh, for instance, I forget who it was, but someone wanted to talk to a specific player. I think I think it was Molly. LaShawn wanted to talk to Molly, right? He has to, in order to talk to Molly about anything, He first has to get permission from K Dog to do it. Yeah, that's it. Kyler wanted to talk to Molly, so he had to get permission from K Dog first to be able to do anything with that. So that's the only time they can ever talk to a player if they are found guilty of that. I think it's tampering's like way the hell up here. Might as well just go to Yelp. No. Where's the search? Tools. I don't remember the search.
I don't think you could hear me, could you?
No, I couldn't. I can't remember the search.
Oh, I said the only exception to that rule of permission is if you put a player up for the trade block. If you put a player on trade block, that gives
Okay.
GMs free reign to
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
them.
Act, uh,
Because you're inviting, you're saying, "Hey, I'm looking to trade this player." So in that, I feel
yeah,
like
but
GM should
I feel like
out to
there's an
that
issue
player.
with that though. There is an issue with that because like Michael Myers requested a trade, and obviously for obvious reasons, he only had a specific team on his radar. So in that instance, you would have to like I don't know. I
Well,
guess
in
you
that
could give
instance,
I guess you could give free reign to them
that's
on trade block players. Um, but the
that's
problem I have, but
GMs.
the problem I have with that is that if players find out that that's the rule, and that's the only time they can speak to them, they're gonna find out that they're put on the trade block, and it's gonna offend them.
I mean, but that's realistic. That's what happens. People get put on the trade block and they find out, or they get traded and they ain't even know. Like
Yeah.
people know when
So.
they get shopped around. So that's what I'm saying. Like when a GM, one second, go ahead.
But yeah. So any questions with that? And we'll get to the Q&A section of this. Does anyone have any questions, or does anyone want me to go through a certain player as like an example? That's crazy. That's crazy, Hogan. That's crazy. Um, yeah. So if anyone has any questions, by all means, just ask me. I can do an example contract. Yes. I guess that's the rule. So yeah, you could. Personally, if personally, if that was for me, I probably would have rather had you get permission first. But if he's on the block, I would probably, I guess you can. So
I mean, if it doesn't
that's
make
that is
sense,
that is the thing. Like now, teams are not putting anyone on the block at all because now they know like players will find out and then they'll get mad and they lose leverage. So I guess like I would say through everything you have to ask permission first before you can talk to a player. Um, so I think that's fine.
okay, eliminate the block. That's considered tampering. You have to get permission from GM. That's the
Yes.
consensus.
Yep.
Now, I thought that would be decent, but I
Yeah.
guess
It depends on what the GMs want to do. Who left? Or did I don't even know who's in here. But yeah,
that
I
was
guess it just
Carter.
okay. Yeah, it just depends on what the GMs would like to do. So
Yeah,
if
I honestly could leave that in their hands. If they want to not do players on the block, then that's fine. I'm I'm not a GM, but I thought that would give some freedom. And I know, yeah, you don't want to put players on the block, because they gonna get known they on the block. But that's realistic. Or you
Yeah,
just move undercover and you keep it in DMs
yeah,
because that's what some GMs do. Some GMs aren't putting people on the open market. So it just all ranges. So that's why I was trying to get freedom, but I forgot you can't get
yeah,
these guys any freedom.
yeah. Not really.
They don't know what to do
So,
with it.
does anyone have any type of questions about like a certain player? I can go through like a cap situation evaluation with you or anything like that. I guess no one's. Ooh,
I think they good. I
I
think
think they're good.
you've covered mostly everything.
Essentially everything. Yeah. So you won't have to touch any of these, but this is the back end sheet, this file sheet, retaining sheet. So um, yeah, the only other thing is these are obviously going to be connected to the teams that won't have a salary unless Grizz wants them to, but I highly doubt that. I know prospect teams which are not fully set up yet. I don't know how much NIL money you want to give each team to give out. Is it 50 million?
For the prospects, I was
Yeah.
honestly prospects were gonna get old school NIL deals while you on a prospect team. Player the games,
Okay.
uh field goal percentages. Affiliate teams gonna have their contracts because most of them are gonna be either two-way or affiliate contracts.
Uh huh.
So they will have their contracts on their
Yeah.
side, but prospects were gonna stay prospects in that aspect where their NIL is based upon what they doing in games.
All right. But
Keep it simple.
anything else?
What happens when you spend all your money? It just you're done. Like the last person
When you
takes
spend
your
all of the bonus
all,
money?
so say, okay, so I got a contract, right? Say we're down to our last 15 mil, but my next bonus is, or we're down to our last 5 mil, my bonus is 10. Do I take that last five and then we're done?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Okay,
and then you have to tell everyone, listen, the restructure is zero because I legally cannot give you any more. So yeah, that's how that would be.
okay.
So I will update the UFA list and free agent list here soon. We had a few contracts that were um, moved down, so but as of right now, the unrestricted free agent list is looking pretty bleak. We've got Roger Mills so far, which we'll see about an extension from him. Adobe City. Houston has three: Danny Go, Linux Gravel, and Connor O'Day, which I doubt anyone signs them unless it's a minor league deal. Uh, who else? Minnesota has Dylan Arnett. Um, New York doesn't have anyone. Oakland has Rickle Rutherford. Pittsburgh has Weston McCook. This four-name guy, I don't know why he's got four names, but whatever. And then Tampa's got Jaleel Biggie. They don't have anyone right now, and then yeah, and then I think this is the last one. Yeah, Cade DeVito and Butch Hendricks. So that is everything. No, we're not. Money. We already said we're sticking to the one that you gave us the first time. We're not changing it every 2 days. Like I don't know. I'm not changing your logo more than you change clothes. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Sorry, you get to keep this rebrand for the next 5 seasons because we're not letting anyone change for another 5 seasons
It's over
unless
with.
unless you're unless you haven't done one. Yeah, it's 5. It's every 5. We're not doing this every season. Easy. The only two who will basically be eligible to like rebrand at all over the next five
Tampa.
seasons would be Tampa and Oakland.
We waiting too. We gonna
Yeah.
come with some fire.
Hopefully everything's more scaled out. I hate doing 14 teams in one off season. So no, LA's
Yeah.
staying for another 5 seasons because you're an expansion. You're keeping that for 5 years or 5 seasons. Same with Derby City. Yeah, you guys are keeping that for 5 seasons. Sorry.
We can give expansion 3.
I guess 3. I mean that's fine. Because realistically, how many times do you see a team rebrand in 5 seasons?
Honestly, not too often. Teams don't rebrand too often.
No, they do different jerseys. Like soccer teams do 2 year rotation. So like, and then basketball doesn't really change that often. Hockey does every
5 to 7 years.
Yeah, hockey does like very minimal changes from like every couple of seasons, sort of, and then like they change jerseys every like 10 to 20 years. And then NFL, it depends on the team really. So, but yeah, we'll do jersey like new city jerseys and stuff like that, but we're not giving you like new home and away jerseys all the time. But we're definitely not going through logos like we do. I mean, this season we did 14, and that's, I mean, I'm stressed enough at having to do that many of putting in
They
2K.
killing us. They killing us.
Yeah, 2K is getting bad, so it's just, and you gotta wait like 48 hours in order to get your logo put in into the game anyway. It's dumb. So, but anyway, um, no, no change. Sorry, I'm putting my foot down. Sorry, put both feet down. This is a 10 toes down scenario here. So look out for some changes in the rule book. That is like our next step. So um, we'll be going through and doing slight modifications to some of these, make it make more sense, more clear. Um, Going through the free agency thing, and then we'll probably add a couple more different sections. But you have the team sheet.
Do we already got a team sheet?
I don't know about the user sheet if that's what he's talking about, but like the contract sheet's right here. Your team sheet's right here.
Nah. He wants the user sheet with attributes and bank and such. We don't have that put together. I notified the sheet team.
Yeah,
It'll
so
get
we don't have the user sheet quite yet, but we're not gonna have it until draft. So we're focusing on the summer circuit guys, getting those guys set up,
oh
and then
see. Heard. I didn't know if
yeah,
we had a timeline on it. So heard Kyler, it'll
yeah.
be around draft time.
But yeah, draft is in 25 days. Um, so that's everything with that. Um, So, and then again, going back to the off-season schedule, um, these are when you do player cuts, team options. We already did team options. I didn't really feel like messing with those during this time. I wanted you guys to be able to focus on negotiations because negotiations might take 10 days to do it. So, you got from April 1st to April 10th to get your player cuts and extensions in. Um, and actually,
Right.
like, if the finals start, if the finals end early, I will give you those extra days to do that as well. So, and then obviously by Monday we're starting the GM draft. I think you have um, 2 hour time. You got a 2 hour timer, and then or is it two? I think it's 2 hour timers, and then once the clock hits, I think midnight Eastern time, then it's a 12 hour. Whoever has that pick gets a 12 hour extension, or I think it's 12 hours, unless we're doing it like 8. I think so. 8 hour extension to do that, or 12 hours. I mean 10 hours. It just depends. I don't know the exact number, but we have until Friday to get this done, and it's 42 picks, so hopefully we can get all of that done before the draft. I will be making the media pieces for um, all the draft day announcements, and then after that, the Monday and Tuesday, that's when you officially hire your affiliate team coaches. It was a 12 hours. 12 hours. Was that for overnight, or was that just like in general? But anyway, Grizz is going to do the hiring of the prospect teams, and then obviously you guys can hire whoever you are for affiliate coaches. Which um,
It
the
starts with people on your team, and
yeah, well,
then after that,
the funny thing is with Dallas and Houston, Jordan was actually supposed to be the affiliate coach. They were going to hire him. So now, since Jordan is in Chicago as the GM, they got to hire someone else.
yeah.
Um,
But just be patient
yeah,
until people are placed and y'all can see where people stand, and then you'll put in y'all nominations for y'all teams based upon people who are on other teams, and we'll go from there. But try to fill it with your players and somebody active on your team first, and then we'll move beyond that point. Because I'm gonna hire prospect coaches last out of the remaining people.
yeah. Um, and then in the future, I don't know if we're going to do it this season because it's kind of getting close to do that, and there's a lot of work to do. But the free agency like next season is going to start on Saturday. Um, it was paused at 11 p.m. and then had a 12 hour a 12 okay, yeah. Well, so that makes sense. Yeah. And then it's a 2 hour clock from yeah, hope I mean 2 days long isn't too bad. But yeah, it's gonna free agency will start on a Saturday from now on because it'll start at noon. So I can do the free agent frenzy stream. So what I'm gonna do is talk about all of the league with a couple different co-hosts that meet me throughout the day. It's a 4 hour stream, and then as signings come in, and here I will announce them on stream as we go. So, and then we've got 7 days of summer league, and then preseason's 12 days. Now, what's going to happen is May 2nd. That's going to be our media day. I should put that down. So we're going to have media day. So we're going to set up um, media. Uh, we're going to set up media threads for all of the players on teams and GMs and stuff like that. I think they did that last season, so um, we're going to do that. And then, and we also voted on a schedule, so we kind of know the schedule. We don't know who plays who yet, but the schedule has been submitted, so I know everyone wanted a little bit of a different schedule, but for light purposes, for keeping it light on some of our streamers, it's going to be 3 game blocks every day. Um, but Saturdays double days, and then Sundays double days, and then UBA NXT is going to match UBA as far as the days that they'll stream. Um, but each side has 240 games. In regular season, it's each team has 30 games to play. So, and then we are doing a play-in for both because it was voted in. It was voted on, or the league voted. Whenever I did that survey, that league UBA uh, survey. So we are doing play-in. UBA is moving to 7-game series all across the board. So first round through third. Um, we might be changing the NXT. I'm still talking to Grizz about it. I wanted to try and do 5 games, 7 games, 7 games, but he's talking to me to do something else. We'll see about that. So, but yeah. Any other questions?
I think that's a lot of games.
It's a ton of games, but well, playoffs is actually it's a lot lighter for playoffs. I mean, it's 8-minute quarters, so I mean, considering we're doing 3 games and Saturdays and Sundays are normally like it's gonna be like 12 games per day.
True.
So
Okay.
in playoffs, it's gonna be super light. 2 games here, 2 games here, 2 games here, 2 games here. Like I don't think I doubled up. Yeah, I didn't double up anything. So it's 2 games, and then when it gets to the finals, it's 1 game. So it's super light for them, super light for everyone during playoffs. The regular season's the daunting task. So yeah, we are getting play in. We are doing play on. It's five teams on each side. The league voted on that. It was pretty unanimous, if I remember right. Forms, uh, survey, responses.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like 577.
Yeah, it's pretty light, honestly. So,
Because that second round game will be the conference championship, but also the championship for each side.
mhm.
Because with 16 teams, we should have, well, with 12 teams, we should have conferences, right?
Yeah,
Or is
so
it
it's
going to
six.
do
It's
best eight?
16. It's
It's
16.
16,
Yeah, it's 16.
right?
So both conferences have 8. So it'd be five playoff teams on each side. So you have the
Right.
1 game, and then it becomes 3 for the first round, and then the conference, which is actually their own league championship, that would be 7 games, and then the UBA NXT championship would be 7. So
Is that UBA next? There'll be affiliate champion against prospect champion.
uh huh.
Ugh,
Yep.
the
So where
drama.
is it? Yeah. So scheduling format. Um, they wanted me to leave it the way it is. The problem with doing that is we were gonna go straight into like when I looked at it, it was gonna be like mid-September, and I don't feel like having a season go from May or March, not March, April, no May. It would be May to September. I'd rather not. So, um, but yeah. So the league voted. It was 65% said yes, 35% said no. So we are getting play-in games. Yeah, it probably would have been. Yeah, it does work in game. It's just it'd be 4 versus 5. I don't think we had. I don't think I actually did play on the series because someone said no. So we'll see. But yeah, that was the other thing that we're gonna have to vote on is if we're going to use YouTube bots as a reasonable way to do a stream check-in. Um, that way, any of the people who can't get there right as the games are playing, because a lot of people can't. They can still have like 24-hour clock to do that. So, and then I would personally would love for all of you to do the
Like that.
GM application. I really would like you guys to give us feedback on everything. I'll repost it again. Please, please, please do this so I can get your guys' feedback and work with you guys about it. So. Vancouver wouldn't have made it in. Um, or sorry, that's the application. That's the wrong one. That's on me. I'm posting the wrong one. I'm slow. This is the one. Share. Copy. There we go. That one. So, if you guys could do that, it would really be helpful. I know a couple of you have answered. So. But anyway, anything else? Any questions about the contract system? That is true. They did. They did beat him without me. Nothing anymore? Alright, well, I guess that is it. Not bad. Not bad of a stream. I think, I don't know how long it went. It's, an hour and a half, basically. So,
Yeah.
any last things?
Nah. Went well. Hope it was informative. Tune in.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do one again for the, player, player side of things. Actually, I might as well do this now. One last thing. Let's look up GM calculator. There. So, this is just the calculator right now. So obviously you can put all of this in, and you know it'll get your numbers. But I am going to put another one right here. That's going to be rookie contracts, and then I'm going to do another one that's two-way and a minors. But I'm not going to be able to get that out before the season ends. So this season's going to be kind of just a guessing game, basically. So, um, as far as that, but what I am going to do is go through the stats and go through UC on those UFAs and the RFAs, whoever are still RFAs, because you declined some guys. And I'm going to put out into the league, I'm going to put out a media piece, what their contract would be. So like this would be 22 million. So, but anyway, that's it. That is, we're done for there. Have a fun time with your night and get out of here. Have a good one.